Appropriately, on a night when Ireland are looking to recapture what they achieved against the Dutch 4 years ago, Richard Dunne plays his first competitive international since. Everyone felt that Brian Kerr's selection on the right side of midfield would determine his approach to this game. Steve Finnan to contain the French or Andy Reid to beat them. He's gone for Reid.
Yeah, back to the 4-4-2 lineup, but I'm really pleased that Brian has gone this way. Dunne comes in at centre-half with his pace, and Andy Reid will be protected a lot more by Kerr. He has the pace should Andy Reid want to venture forward. I think it's a positive team. Robbie Keane is partnered up front by Clinton Morrison, unlike the one-man up front system in the last international, and I think it sends a message out that we will be attacking tonight.
Jibril Cisse, who scored 2 and was involved in the 3rd against the Faroe Islands, also picked up an ankle injury that renders him only fit enough for the bench. So with David Trezeguet suspended for a second game, Sylvain Wiltord returns. The only other change in personnel from Saturday is Vikash Dorosu, replacing his former Lyon colleague Florent Malouda. But Lilian Thuram and Zinedine Zidane have shaken off Knox to join the other returning musketeer, Claude Makélélé.
At the back, I think France are very predictable with their 4, but it's in midfield where Vieira and Makélélé, they'll hold all the engine room stuff. That will be done between them and the midfield. It will give Zidane a licence to get forward, to join Henry, who's the lone striker, with Wiltord and Dorosu, making ground up and down the flanks. And again, depending on how they go out to this game, whether it's attacking, how far they play up the pitch will be important.
Brian Kerr, renowned for his meticulous, almost scientific preparation. But how will he cope with the biggest match of his managerial career?
Well, I think the build-up to it, he's done very well. He's played things down. The press were trying to make issues here this week. He's silenced them all. And he's a realist, you know. He understands how hard the game has been. In football terms, I would call him a technocrat. He's the technical approach. He takes care of everything that needs to be taken care of. He will have gone through videos. He will have gone through player assessments. And I think at this stage, he knows what it takes to beat this team. I don't doubt that for 1 minute. And I feel he feels, with this team he has picked tonight, it's probably the strongest team he has picked since he got the job.
Well, one aspect that had everyone united after the first meeting of these two countries last October was the contribution of the Irish crowd in Paris, where they really made their presence felt that day. And again, Brian Kerr has staged his usual pre-match request to the crowd to be the 12th man, and the atmosphere really building up.
Yeah, the atmosphere has been fantastic for the last few hours here, but you know something, I don't even think he needed to do that. I think the crowd are waiting for this game since the group was announced all those months ago, and as we probably knew, it's turned out to be the most important game in the group. I mean, there's not been many games of this importance over the last 10-12 years. I can think of 1 or 2, Northern Ireland away, here with the Holland game, and this is every bit as big. And the people have waited a long time for a game like this, and I can assure Brian Kerr and everybody watching the fans will be up for this one.
It's a later kick-off at Lansdowne Road than they're used to, but the atmosphere has been building up round and outside the ground since about 4 o'clock today, and everyone has been anxiously checking their watches, waiting for the minutes to go by and for this game to get underway.
Yeah, that's been the way all week. I mean, you know, everyone's looking to the game, and I just get the feeling, you know, that this is the first game for a long time that even the old ladies are talking about. They want us to win. The people who don't normally follow football realise how big this is. The taxi drivers, they've plenty to say this week. It's a game that has really captured the imagination, and although the group has been tough for the fans to accept, and I don't mean that in a negative way, the way Ireland's played, with all the draws, with things not happening very fluently, what is left is that this game has suddenly become, you know, the game that we look to the future on almost, and without heaping too much pressure on the players, they'll know that anyway. You know, it is a huge game for Brian Kerr.
Well, if there isn't a winner in this one tonight, there'll be only 2 more occasions when one of the top 4 can beat another. Switzerland against France or Ireland against Switzerland in the last qualifier of this campaign at Lansdowne Road. And of course we shouldn't forget that Lansdowne Road is due to be rebuilt at some stage, so this could be the last great occasion of this sort that the stadium in its present form stages.
Well, Rob, you wouldn't be used to how slowly things happen over here with planning permission and stuff like that. It's going to take a bit of doing, but the commitment is there. And, you know, there's another big issue here, of course, with Croke Park having been opened up now. So, you know, it's not going to be gone forever, Lansdowne. There will be a new stadium here. In the meantime, it is hoped that they play in Croke Park, the national stadium of the GAA. But it would be nice, you know, to qualify for a tournament having had a good couple of send-off games here, memorable ones. Starts here tonight against France, and we'll finish the job hopefully against Switzerland next month.
Well, the famous victory over the Dutch was staged on a clear Saturday afternoon, but there is still something special about Lansdowne Road under floodlights on a midweek evening. And there's a good spirit about the crowd before the match. One or two might be leaving with glum faces at the end of it. A draw for Ireland would certainly be no disaster. A win would be the stuff that dreams are made of, but a defeat would take Ireland's destiny out of their own hands.
Yeah, defeat would be tough to take. I mean, especially as we had both games against Israel in the bag and we ended up dropping 4 points. It could almost be argued that had we taken maximum points in those games, that the likes of Zidane and co wouldn't be back for this game, that they'd have chucked the towel in. So as disappointed as people would be, the real calamity would have been the reverses against Israel, where we should have picked up the points. But we're still in there, and I think that's a negative aspect. And I don't think we should look into this negative. I don't think anyone in the stadium, from an Irish point of view, will be negative at this point.
And for all, they are looking on it as an evening with the potential to be a never to be forgotten night, or an evening best forgotten. Let's wait and see. The German officials begin to emerge. Kenny Cunningham at the head of the Irish line. And Vieira and Roy Keane are usually not at the head of the line, but mere foot soldiers further down behind their respective captains. Zinedine Zidane, who's made a late entrance to get to the front, and Kenny Cunningham.
Yeah, it's again, once they meet again, the two really giants of the Premiership in the last 10 years. First time meeting internationally. It's the biggest stage of all. And I mean no disrespect to the Premiership, but this is huge for both players. It's going to be a tough one to call, but what I can say is, within the first 10 minutes, somebody will have tried to get the edge, and maybe not on the ball.
A World Cup winner. He knows what it's like to score in the final and to have his hands on the trophy. How Roy Keane would love to be there after missing out through circumstances of which he himself was a part in 2002. But Zidane and Thuram and Makelele not the only ones to come out of international retirement. Roy Keane changed his mind as well. Ireland hoping that they can break free in this group and conquer the team who started Group 4 as the favourites. The dignitaries emerge. David Blood, the president of the Football Association of Ireland, Catherine Byrne, the Lord Mayor of Dublin, and Jean-Claude Escalay of the French Football Federation. World-renowned names in the French line. And although there's been much talk about Zidane, Makelele and Thuram returning, let's not forget they were part of that French team at Euro 2004 that showed signs that all wasn't what it used to be when they got knocked out in the quarterfinals.
Yeah, and also their World Cup performance in Japan was pretty appalling, you know. So as great as these players have performed at the top level in the game, we can pick chinks. You know, there's certainly times when this team has probably played so poorly that we've ended up scratching our head at times. So much talent on disposal, and the reason for that clearly has to be something wrong in the system, whether they're not happy with the coach, whether the players are assuming power, you know, the usual stuff that goes on when a team isn't quite happy. Hopefully it's that way tonight.
Now the formalities with the national anthems. Perhaps even with their star names, Ireland have to believe France are beatable. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Ireland's big test is upon us then. It's Niall Quinn and first, Rob Hawthorne.
It's the fixture they've waited for since the draw was made for Group 4, and now it is upon us. France hoping that there's renewed harmony in the camp with their returning players, although they've struggled to convince the rest of the world about that. And Brian Kerr hopes that if there is a discordant element in the French lineup, he can capitalise on it, and that Roy Keane can be the inspirational leader that he was brought back to be. It was that challenge on Mark Overmars that set the tone for the performance against the Dutch, that much heralded win 4 years ago. And as he renews rivalries with Patrick Vieira tonight, will there be a similar element to the battle?
It's going to be some battle, but there are battles all over the park. And it's a great opportunity. People like Clinton Morrison, you know, clubs didn't fancy him, he got himself a move, but imagine scoring a winner here, what that would mean to him.
Sharp intakes of breath all around then. We're underway. Morrison, cleared by Thuram. Clinton Morrison leaves it for Andy Reid to get the first shot away that doesn't directly trouble Gregory Coupé.
Yeah, and interesting that Andy was so far forward as the ball broke to him. He's obviously got a licence to go and play as far up as he can, and you see he's in a good area as he comes in. Might have hit it first time, tried a curler. Good positive start.
It's a nice vote of confidence in Andy Reid, who scored in that match against Italy when Ireland were given something of a footballing lesson, but there was a suspicion that Brian Kerr might have played Steve Finnan in that role, as he did in France for the game between these two sides earlier in the group.
Yeah, I mean, Finnan played up there and did well, and he's had such a good time of it lately with Liverpool that he'll probably feel bad about not playing, but I think just Reid is that more creativity, and I think that's probably the key to this tonight. You know, I think we've got to find something a little bit special, a little bit different, and he may be the man to provide it.
Here's Patrick Vieira. It's Kilban who's tight to him early on. Now Vikash Dorosu looks to set Thierry Henry away. And Richard Dunn has a bit of a checkered history against Henry. Did well against him in the Premiership last year, but also on one occasion I remember for Manchester City, when admittedly he was playing out of position at right back, he was given a real roasting by Henry on a day when City scored or conceded 5 goals.
Yeah, he wouldn't have been the only defender in the Premiership to come away from a game where Henry has destroyed him, but at the same time he's put a couple of good solid performances in as well. It's a big night for him.
Here's Carr. Andy Reid looking to get Carr forward, but it's just beyond his reach.
Yeah, and again, Carr wasn't holding back there trying to protect Reid. He was going on and wanting to get by. So I think that, you know, Kerr's approach tonight, I think his teammate, he's told his team, you know, let's have a go, let's see what they're about, make it uncomfortable for them.
There is a bit of a breeze. Here's Henry. And he's got the better of Dunn there. Clever feet from Henry. And it's Sylvain Wiltord. And there comes the first decisive tackle from Roy Keane.
Yeah, very important tackle there, because Henry had got by effortlessly, set the chance up for Wiltord. And it was a dangerous moment, but Keane read it really well. And it's a good tackle. Really got the crowd going, because it was a dangerous moment. See here, good touch. Tries to cut back inside, but Keane was really good to react to it.
It's Makelele. Interception from Carr. Morrison does well. Boumsong looks to get it away. Makelele under pressure from Reid. It's good pressing this from Ireland. Reid to Carr. Keane. Now Vieira under pressure from Kilban. Zidane. Keane gets in tight on him, but Wiltord breaks with it and finds Thierry Henry. Dunn makes the tackle from behind, gives away the free kick.
Yeah, it was actually John O'Shea, and he did lunge. He did seem as if he got a bit of the ball, but at electric pace. You can see another thumping tackle from Roy. That's too early on. But just as the ball came forward, we're not seeing the instant. John O'Shea was at him and he got the ball.
Here's Vieira. Now Wiltord. Morrison getting into Sagnol. There was a bit of a push then that carried Sagnol so far over the edge of the pitch that he actually went into the fence that surrounds it.
Yeah, well, just letting them know this isn't going to be an easy ride, and I think Sagnol, whatever he was expecting, it's going to be worse, I hope.
Well, there's been so much hype, so much talk about this match that you can understand the level of excitement, and players on one or two occasions getting a little bit carried away, and the referee just wisely having a word with Clinton Morrison.
Yeah, you come in, especially for Clinton, you know, who's really desperate to show people that they should have signed him. He's always said, you know, he's been a little bit hard done by. He wanted to make this number 9 shirt his own, but now he has. So let's hope it works out for him here.
Thuram having to recover, having given it away to Duff in the first instance. Now Sagnol. And this is Jean-Alain Boumsong. A lot of people feel that if the French have a weakness to be exploited, it is in the heart of that defence. It's Carr's header back.
Yeah, good defending. It was interesting talking about Thuram there. I mean, he gave the ball away to Duff. I think Ireland's real possibility of joy and progress here is if Damien Duff can take him on. Get the ball to Damien. He has the full-back Sagnol to deal with, but if he can get into a more dangerous position, perhaps join up with the front two, I think they're suspect in the middle.
It's Morrison's header on. Gallas away. Now Dorosu. Cunningham with the interception on Zidane. Makelele. Now Gallas.
Good covering back, Andy. I mean, it's been hectic stuff, but it's been so good for Ireland because they've showed that they're here. They want France to know that they're going to be in for a tough time. They're chasing everything. They're working ever so hard. It'll be tough to keep this pace up for the 90 minutes.
Boumsong. Broken up by Roy Keane, who's been steady rather than spectacular since his return to the international arena, but this is the sort of occasion that he relishes, and you do feel he'll have a key part to play.
Yeah, and you know, there's so much there from, okay, the Vieira history is one thing, but he has a lot of ground to make up, I suppose, you know, and it's an opportunity for him to probably bring Ireland to the World Cup. I mean, that would be the aim after what happened to him the last time, and tonight is just going to be so important.
Played against Duff by Sagnol. I'm sure that should have been a throw-in for France, but it's actually been given in Ireland's favour. Can they make the most of that bit of luck? Kilban. Vieira kept him pegged back, and he's found Zidane. Now Makelele. Always looks to Zidane, doesn't he? Claude Makelele, and he's found him again. Henry, and he was taken by Richard Dunn.
It was a great play by Henry. I'm just watching it to see if the referee is going to book Richard Dunn. I think he's just given the free kick, which isn't bad from Ireland's point of view. Very lucky not to get the yellow card. He certainly skipped away from him. The first couple of times that Henry has tried that, he's got past Dunn. A little bit worrying.
As is this free kick, because they have plenty of artists for whom this is decent territory. And Zidane, the all-powerful figure in the French camp since his return, has earmarked this one as his. Zidane! Brilliantly clawed away by Shay Given. Vieira gets it back and struck by Gallas. But Shay Given, who's going to be such a key figure for Ireland tonight, and what an heroic first contribution from the goalkeeper.
As good a save as I've ever seen Shay Given make. It was almost behind him, almost over the line, and he got across to what was a wonderful, wonderful free kick. What a save, though, by Shay Given. Zidane showed his class, and Shay was up to it. A little bit of an incident here below us as well.
Clinton Morrison has walked away from the scene of the trouble, but he was very much at the eye of the storm.
Absolutely. I think as the ball was played forward by Boumsong, he left his foot in.
A yellow card for Morrison, who doesn't exactly take his punishment lightly. Feels that Thuram might have had an influence in getting him shown that card.
Yeah, I think the Irish players are complaining of that, and also complaining that perhaps the linesman was right beside it and didn't give any decision.
Well, what a stop from Shay Given to claw out that seemingly goal-bound effort.
Here we go again. It's a marvellous free kick. I mean, that's absolute top class, but as it's going in there, he just gets his arm across. He's made many great saves over the years. That's a very, very important one.
And bearing in mind the significance of the game, the significance of the opponent that he was saving from, I'm sure Shay Given will put that down as one of his all-time top saves.
Yeah, it was a great save. I mean, as you say, the importance to do that tonight, to start like that and make a save. I mean, it'd be great for his confidence, but also his team, you know, will say, okay, everybody here is to do their bit. Shay has done it already. Let's just go ahead now and build on that.
Henry. Duff. Here's Kilban. Andy Reid. Now Makalele. Dorosu. Carr closed him down. Now Reid. They're doing really well with their pressure when they haven't got the ball here, Ireland. Forcing the issue, as Reid was looking to do again there. They've just got to be careful that they don't overstep the mark with one player already having been booked.
Yeah, Clinton's in the book. They are going around tackling quite hard, and that was unfortunate. I thought Reid had done enough to get the ball. He worked ever so hard to come back. We'll look back here. Here's the incident where Clinton gets booked. You'll watch this as he plays it forward. He comes in late. I don't think he studied him, and I suppose the defender did make the most of it, although he is out of the next qualifier, but it's not a bad one to miss, in fairness.
Yes, it's the Cyprus game away that Clinton Morrison will not be available for now. And that is a problem, actually, for Ireland, because they have quite a few players who are booking away from missing that tie. They're already now going to be without Morrison.
Yeah, but the point being, you know, if he was to pick a game out of these three to miss, that's the one. Cyprus away. Switzerland at home, France at home. We need him for them probably a little bit more. Well, a lot more.
Andy Reid, Damien Duff, Kevin Kilban, Roy Keane, John O'Shea and Kenny Cunningham also on the brink.
Yeah, but they got to just put that to one side, do what they have to do, and hopefully, you know, we won't have a full 5 or 6 yellow cards going into that game, and that, you know, the team will be able to go with strong Cyprus. But you've got to forget about that. In a game like this, it's just do what you have to do to win this game.
Morrison with Gallas at his back. Lay off by Robbie Keane, the interception from Makalele. It's Morrison's challenge. Ball played through to Robbie Keane. And Vieira cross.
Yeah, Boomsong had stayed behind a few yards and Robbie was in for a moment.
Now Duff. Wiltord. Makalele. Duff applying the pressure to Sanyol, hurrying the pass, forcing the mistake.
Great pressure, fantastic pressure all round. They know they're in for a game all right now, France.
Keane. Now Morrison. And it's Boomsong who's given away the free kick.
Yeah, that's Clinton's strength, holding the ball up, trying to bring players in. And as he did it, he was fouled from behind. You look at him here, the arms are all over him. Fairness, Clinton's doing a bit of jersey pulling as well, but that's great play. Ireland need that. To hold the ball up around the edge of the box is so important, and he's got his rewards now.
Well, Given came out on top against Zidane. Can Coupe come out on top against Ireland's taker? Andy Reid, Robbie Keane, Roy Keane are there. Robbie Keane's now moved away. It's Reid! So unlucky.
What a fantastic effort. Coupe didn't move. Just have a look here. He was beaten all ends up. Oh, so unlucky. Great effort by Reid. Two marvellous, marvellous free kicks. And Ireland perhaps the unluckier not to be ahead. Marvellous skill. Good pace on the ball. The keeper's very, very lucky.
The post doing for France what Given did for Ireland.
That really got the crowd going even more if that was possible. I mean, the atmosphere is electric.
And so far, the match has matched it.
Absolutely, it's been everything it was built up to be so far.
Here's Gallas. Zidane. Zidane, whose influence since he returned is felt to extend far beyond the pitch. Now Wiltord. Vieira. Zidane not very happy about the ball. Vieira played back then to Boomsong. This is Dorosu. Carr staying tight to him. Makelele looking for Sylvain Wiltord, but it's too wide of him.
Yeah, he actually tried to play it over the top of John O'Shea, which he did, but Wiltord had taken a step inside. But every time they give the ball away, every time we make a tackle, it's all good for Ireland. It will build up their belief that they can go ahead and, well, win the game.
Vieira. Only 3 defeats in his 30 games in charge so far for Brian Kerr. Unfortunate that going into it, they had their first home defeat under him here against Italy. But this is a different occasion altogether, the sort of occasion for which Ireland raised themselves.
Oh, it's a different occasion and a different type of team, you know, different system. And we're certainly far more up for it. I mean, I think we've worked harder in this opening period than we did in the whole game against Italy, and I don't mean to be harsh saying that. There's a terrific edge about the Irish team. He'll be delighted.
Mistake by Thuram. Robbie Keane could be through. He's gone down, but it's a dive, says the referee. He's telling him to get up.
Well, my first reaction was his legs were clipped. I'm not so sure he had full control of the ball, and I only hope that the referee saw the contact. But again, wonderful pressure. He's read the pass inside. He gets played through by Clinton, and at that point there, although the ball had crept away from him, I felt he had got a clip on the ankle, but the ref didn't see it that way and gave the defender the benefit of the doubt.
Well, relief twice over then for Thuram, because he'd given it away in the first place, and he was the player closest to Keane then when he went down, and he might have made the most of going down, but it looked as though there could have been contact there.
Yeah, certainly from behind the way we were looking at it, it looked as if he was wriggling through to get a shot on goal. There was bodily contact, but in fairness to the referee, he made a decision real quick. He didn't hesitate. But again, it's good for him. We watched it from this side. He's played through lovely by Clinton. And, well, it doesn't look so good from that side, does it?
No, give the referee the benefit of any doubt that may have been there.
Yeah, perhaps he made the right decision in the end.
Here's Zidane. Looking to make the angle for Henry, but Carr got in the way. Cunningham was waiting for Shay Given, who was leaving it to his captain to deal with. Boomsong misses the header. Robbie Keane looks to get in. It's Clinton Morrison!
Well, so close again. Clinton did great to follow up. A harmless ball in many respects by Shay Given. But the back four, as I said to you earlier, in through the middle, I think these are 6s and 7s all through this qualifying group. Just had to stretch a little bit, and it was a fine effort under the circumstances. But that gives me good hope. It gives me good confidence that there are more chances to be got from those 2 centre defenders.
Well, Ireland have had more of the attempts so far in the opening 20 minutes, which we may not necessarily have expected. The French would fully have expected the pressure they've come under when they've had the ball.
Yeah, and of course getting the chances is the real bonus, because France will be a little bit shaken, you know. I think they came here thinking if they passed the ball around and they were good control, good neat work, that Ireland couldn't get at them, but they certainly have been able to close them down and get at them.
Coupe comes to claim the kick. Looks for Zidane. Makelele. Dorosu. Here's Vieira. Sagnol. Sylvain Wiltord. Now Zidane becomes involved. Willy Sagnol again.
Well, that's good. That passage of play showed France holding on to the ball, and then because they couldn't get forward, frustrated as he was, Sagnol tried a pretty impossible ball, and the whole thing broke down. But up the other end, this is the penalty incident from a third angle. Just see, maybe at that point there was a slightest bit of contact. Just here's a wonderful ball through by Clinton. That's probably the best angle of all. You just see the first defender came in and possibly made a bit of contact. It was certainly worth the shout. I've seen them given time and time again.
He's onside, Clinton Morrison. Thuram comes out to try and isolate him. And Morrison pulled the defender back.
Yeah, he started rightly, Clinton. He has got himself booked. He has to be a little bit careful, but he is causing a lot of problems. Those central two don't like him. Just raised his arms there a little bit.
Well, Thuram was perhaps the surprise return of the three players that did come back, and Boumsong's erratic performances in the Premiership have given Ireland hope that there may be an Achilles heel there.
But in fairness to France, they haven't let many goals in. They do protect it quite well, but I just feel that there will be chances. The way we play won't suit that back pairing. I think it's different when people are trying to pick runners out and thread things through, and I think they're quite strong and they can play well against that. But when they've got somebody holding it up as well as Clinton Morrison, I think they're a little bit suspect.
Only one goal they've let in qualifying so far, the French.
Again, that long ball by Thuram, you know, that's all good stuff for Ireland. When he starts giving stuff away like that, the manager went a little bit potty, which we didn't quite catch, and he knows that's not what France want to do. But Ireland are making them do it, that's the thing.
Raymond Domenech is a man under pressure, despite the fact he's got an unbeaten record as French coach. But it seems he's almost been a bystander since Zinedine Zidane returned, with Zidane's influence extending to off-field matters as well, if all reports are to be believed. O'Shea and Duff combining neatly. Robbie Keane came in after Morrison had left it, and he's won a corner.
Yeah, great play. He had them all at 6 and 7s there, but it was Duff's wizardry out in the wing, linked up brilliantly with John O'Shea. So he gets into a very dangerous position. A clever ball, pulled it back as opposed to going near the goalkeeper. The shout from Keane, the dummy from Morrison, and a slight deflection brought it over the bar. But great, good play from Ireland.
Reid with a corner. Zidane gets it away. Stephen Carr. And now Cunningham. Here's Dorosou. Makelele under pressure from Kilban. Reid getting something to chase. Boumsong overhits it for Dallas.
Yeah, you can't underestimate what Andy Reid has done there, to put so much pressure on him at that point.
He's got that ball through to Morrison. Will it break for Keane? The flag was up anyway. Flag was up.
Well, I'm not so sure it was Clinton. Clinton feels the man was behind him at all times. But again, good play from Ireland. Won it back, got the ball from the throw-in, and at that point there's nobody offside in my book.
Done. Here's Boumsong. Now Gallas.
But I think he took a knock from a knee into the face there. Don't think he was acting, the crowd are roaring at him to get up, but I think he did take a little bit of a knock.
Here's Zidane. Now Henry. Sagnol. Wiltord. Roy Keane missed it. It's Makelele. Claude Makelele giving Ireland a real scare.
Yeah, he wriggled his way past the heavy challenge from Keane, got into a good area and didn't quite get hold of it, thank God. At this point here, both Morrison and Keane had dived in. wriggled away from him on his left foot. Didn't trouble Shea, but worrying all the same. It's all right flying in, making these tackles, but at a point like that, it's vital that you get something on the ball.
Well, that would have been a collector's item, a Claude Makelele goal. He's never scored at international level. He only scored for Chelsea thanks to what was virtually a setup, a missed penalty from which he was able to bundle in the rebound on the day they claimed the title last season, the day they picked up the trophy.
The greatest respect, Rob. I can see this coming back to haunt us. We'll leave it at that.
Here's O'Shea with the free kick for Ireland. Dorosu away. Now Roy Keane. Carr. Can Morrison get through here? He's turned Boomsong. Coupe got a touch to it.
Yeah, he did really well. He's causing so many problems. He's been strong, he's wriggling, and the ball broke kindly for him. And the keeper, who looked to be in an uncomfortable situation, did get a hand to it. But you see it played through here by Carr. He's been strong, it drops nicely, and just as he's about to go, fairness to Boomsong, he got a leg to it.
Reed's corner. Again, Morrison looks for it. Kilbane with the flick back. Now, what can Dunn do from here if he can free himself? Dorosu. Zidane. Dallas. Here's Makelele. Vieira. Sagnol. The French just starting to look a bit more comfortable in possession than they have at any other stage of the game.
Yeah, well, they're knocking it around now, not trying a long aimless ball, which they did early on, which so disappointed the manager. But in fairness to Ireland, they're still closing the gaps, and they're not allowing it to go through to the front people, and that's the key. Okay, if they keep knocking it around 20, 30 yards, but when they get near that back line, then it becomes dangerous. They've got to work really hard to protect the back four.
Vieira looks for the killer ball, and the gap was plugged by Cunningham. Zidane, though, picks up the threads again for France.
And he'll have to plug so many more gaps like that, Cunningham. That's what they'll try and exploit, to try and get it in at the front men.
Now Zidane. Wiltord. It's Roy Keane who takes it away from him. Carr closed down by Wiltord. And now Boomsong. Makelele in there to help him out. Reed. Roy Keane. O'Shea.
Let's have a look at his chance again. It seemed to fall kindly. He'd wriggled his man as he does so well. He's having his jersey tugged, and just as he pulled the trigger, fairness, Boomsong got a leg to it, and the chance went.
Offside flag up against Zinedine Zidane. Arsene Wenger here tonight, working for French television, watching his compatriots in action and some players old and current. And Arsenal in action this weekend against Middlesbrough. Saturday 5 p.m. on Premiership Plus. Channel 437 for details on how you can see that one. Bolton v Blackburn, Sky Sports 1, Sunday from 3:30.
It's something we don't always see. The referee giving a foul throw from taken from the wrong area. Seems a little bit petty.
Wenger watching Patrick Vieira presumably for the first time since the...
Watching him, I wonder with a little bit of envy, because his team haven't started as well as he'd have liked. They certainly miss him.
think actually he may have been there at the weekend as well to see the victory over the Faroe Islands, in which Vieira played a part. Of course, he was suspended for the first match with Ireland in this group, having been sent off in the fixture against the Faroes previous to that. Sagnol here has picked out Zinedine Zidane. And now Sagnol. Looking for Dorosu, but too much on it.
Yeah, Sagnol has given a couple away, but Zidane got into a great area there, got the ball in a dangerous area, played it back to Sagnol, and that man, Dominic, he'll be so disappointed because Sagnol 2 or 3 times now has played aimless long balls.
He's raised the stakes, Raymond Domenech. He says that he wants to see his team win each of their 3 remaining matches in the group. Here's Roy Keane with a free kick. Now O'Shea. Duff. Here's Kilban.
Felt he got a little bit of a nudge as he went to control that ball. It's things like that Vieira does in the game, which also got that touch of class too. Enough to put the player off, but never to give a free kick away.
Kilban. O'Shea. Will put Cunningham into trouble. Henry nipped in, but then gives it away to Kilban.
Yeah, recovered O'Shea. It's a loose ball.
Carr looks for Robbie Keane. Wasn't caught by Boomsong in the referee's judgment. Here's Turan. O'Shea challenging with Wiltord, and challenging successfully. Sagnol hooks it away from Duff, who's told to get up, as Wiltord breaks here with Henry to his right. Now Zidane. Looking for a way through, but Roy Keane ensures that there is no way through for Zinedine Zidane.
Absolutely great work between Keane and Andy Reid there, who applied the pressure and forced him to go inside, and Roy muffed it up. Great work between Keane and Reid.
Well, Roy Keane has bittersweet memories of meeting Zinedine Zidane in a certain Champions League semi-final back in 1999 when Zidane was with Juventus, because of course Manchester United got through to the final, but Zidane was ruled, or rather Keane was ruled out of it for a tackle on Zidane that brought him the booking that forced him out of the match.
Yeah, tough moment for Roy when he looks back on his career, but I think most people remember the role he played in bringing Manchester United back into that game.
Vieira, Zidane. Carr getting in tight on Dorosu. Zidane. Dorosu managing to get away from Carr this time. It's Henry. And they're throwing numbers around him, and Keane got to him that time.
They were. They're like a pack of dogs barking at his feet. Marvellous effort. I just hope they can keep this up at the rate they're doing it.
Here's Vieira. Here's Kilban. Done.
Damien hasn't had as much of the ball perhaps on the deck as he'd have liked, but I think it's more to do with the frantic pace of the game. I'd imagine it'll settle down somewhat and that the play will reshape itself, and as much as players like him will get times when the players get a little bit tired, maybe it'll take to the second half for that to happen, then perhaps they can get through.
Reed found the angle for Carr, who's looking for Duff, but Sanyol climbs with the header away. Still managed to find Duff, and he's won the free kick out of Willie Sanyol.
Yeah, I think that there's definitely contact there as Duff went to the ground. He got there first, got his touch on the ball, and I think once you go through like that as a defender and miss the ball and there's contact, the commitment alone warrants the free kick.
Well, they went so close from a free kick. The post rescued Gregory Coupé on that occasion. Andy Reid and Roy Keane, who were lined up for that one, over this one as well. Makelele belatedly retreats. Roy Keane lines it up this time for Stephen Carr. It was hit with force, and Sanyol, who'd given away the kick in the first instance, blocks it.
Yeah, it was a well-worked free kick. Nobody saw Carr stealing into the area, and he hit it with some force. But watch it here, at a lovely angle to see where it was actually heading. That was heading goalward bound.
Into the last 10 minutes of the half. Another corner for Ireland. Whipped in by Reid. Cleared by Vieira. Now Duff. Back in again by Reid.
Decided to come first time there, Andy, with the ball. One or two of the players were still making their way out and hadn't quite read it, but he's thinking all the time, isn't he? As well as his trickery, as well as his passing. He's thinking of movement from other players. He's done really well so far.
Well, the question we set very early on was, could they sustain it? They've managed it for a third of the game so far, if they can keep up this level of work rate.
Yeah, it's been colossal.
Carr. Now done. O'Shea. Duff. Well, Duff and Sanyol, adversaries of old from last season's Champions League, when Chelsea got through their quarter-final, and Sanyol on a sticky wicket now because he's shown a yellow card for that last challenge on Duff.
Well, I think the referee had given the free kick, and the fact that he kept on having a little niggle at Damien as Damien was trying to get off the ground, that's what's caused him his grief and earned him the yellow card.
Which rules him out of the trip to Switzerland.
Could be important. I think of a bigger advantage to Ireland is he's marking probably our cleverest player, who'll hopefully be able to get at him now, and he won't be so able to just keep banging him in with hard challenges.
There's Sanyol. Now Wiltord. Zidane under pressure from Cunningham.
Yeah, it looked like a fairly good tackle, and the referee was right there.
Dunn has to deal with this. Nudge from Henry anyway.
Yeah, in fairness to the referee, he's been up with everything. Nothing has passed him by. The penalty appeal, obviously we'd have preferred him to give that. But he was there on the spot all times, and then that slight little nudge by Henry could have caused problems had Dunn not made a good contact with the head. The referee was up to it.
O'Shea. Roy Keane. Here's Vieira. Turan. Dunn tries to get in front of Henry and manages to. Well, Richard Dunn had a tricky moment early on with Thierry Henry when the striker's clever feet saw him get past him, but he's picked himself up since then.
He has, and in fairness to the people working in front of him, they're probably the reason They're closing down the work rate. It means Henry is not getting it in dangerous areas anymore.
Well won by Reed. Kilban, though, not able to make the most of it, and Vieira strides clear and finds Zidane. And he's stopped by Kenny Cunningham.
Very important challenge by Cunningham, because Henry was away free down this right side.
Well, it's allowed Ireland to get numbers back.
Yeah, very vital tackle there.
Vieira. Here's Zidane. Taken down by Andy Reid. And the referee wants at least to talk to him.
Yeah, I don't think it was malicious. I think it was more the trickery of Zidane that he couldn't handle.
Here's Gallas. Makelele. Turan. Now O'Shea. Duff. Well, Morrison leaves the ball behind. And Sagnol relieved to get it clear.
There's a big rise in anticipation when Duff gets the ball. It was a little bit unlucky not to thread it through to Clinton there. Put more of the ball on the deck with him running at players. I think that's Ireland's key.
Keane. Cunningham. Dunn. Now O'Shea. Roy Keane. Duff going down a little too easily there against Sagnol, over whom he has the psychological edge after that yellow card for the fullback.
Well, he's been given 2 or 3 frees already, but I think that was probably as bad as any, if not worse.
Henry's won it for Makelele to press on. Reid stops him in his tracks. And Andy Reid stopped him originally, but Roy Keane then got across, and it's Roy Keane who's shown a yellow card that will rule him out of the Cyprus game.
Yeah, it's a shame. It was after the free kick had been given and the player was on the ground. He ran past him and there was a collision. The referee has said he's stamped on the player. We'll see it closely here. At this point, Keane is out of the action. The player goes through. Reid gives the free kick. The referee is blown, and he's got booked for that, which doesn't look a lot to me. That was probably worse what he did to Henry. There's the free kick. Keane is running past, goes for the ball, and a little bit harsh.
Good delivery from Sagnol. Well met by Cunningham. Makelele.
Just give a free kick against Clinton Morrison again. You want to be careful.
Confirmation that Roy Keane, like Morrison earlier, has picked up a yellow card that will rule him out of the next qualifying match in Cyprus. Cyprus, the last opponents against whom Roy Keane scored for Ireland. Robbie Keane a little slow to move 10 yards away as Zidane takes the kick, which Dorosu moves on. It's lined up for Zidane. Wiltord looking for Henry. Vieira!
What a fantastic effort that was. He's furious because it seemed to take an age for anybody to go out and close the shot down. Says it's high in the air here. You think somebody will be going out to block it, somebody will be going, but nobody went. It's maybe a yard wide, but it's a worrying moment. I can recall Israel scoring late on with a similar situation where nobody got out. Maybe all the energy the players are consuming is making it tougher to get there. Keane tried his best. Fine effort.
Well, at the moment, maybe half-time can't come quickly enough.
Well, that's probably a bit harsh. I think Ireland have had good play, but just the last few minutes you see France are getting into dangerous areas a little bit easier.
Well, that Vieira attempts the third that France have managed, so Ireland still ahead on that count. A free kick from Zidane. The French effort on target that Shay Given saved brilliantly. One back by Roy Keane to halt the progress of Sanyol. Boomsong charging into the back of Clinton Morrison and leaving him in a heap.
Yeah, he's raised his knee, he's come there, he's got nowhere near the ball and just ploughed into Clinton Morrison. Took a heavy knock there. Just watch him here as he comes up there into the back. Hefty challenge. I felt Clinton was booked for probably less than that.
Carl's kick, looking for Kilban.
It's classically marked by Thuram there. Didn't any intention of going for the ball. Thuram just stayed in close to Kilban, didn't let him get off the ground. But he'll be happy. I think his side have shown spirit and determination to close down like probably at no time in the last few years. I think they've been fantastic. They've done ever so well.
Thuram. Vieira looks to get Henry on the front foot, but Dunn kept his eye on it.
Yeah, you just feel it's dangerous when a ball like that goes in the air, and Henry is prowling, but Dunn did really well. But going back to Kerr, I think his side have really played well. They've shown enough spirit going forward, and they're knocking it about as well as they can, but their closing down has been phenomenal. They've really made France feel as if they're in a game.
Just one more minute to the break. Wiltor. Now Vieira. This is Gallas. Dorosu to Zidane. Away by Kilban. This is Roy Keane. Again, Boomsong have got tight to Clinton Morrison, and again he gives away the free kick.
Yeah, that's 3 or 4 now where he's clattered into Clinton, or he pulled him down the edge of the box earlier. No cards.
Well, a great first half for Ireland, good work ethic, and Shea Given produced a save out of the top draw to deny Zinedine Zidane with a free kick early on. They also survived a late scare from Vieira, but they could have scored themselves. Andy Reid hitting the post with a free kick. Robbie Keane might have had a penalty. Challenge from Lilian Thuram, and all in all it's been a very encouraging first half display from the men in green. It's still Ireland 0, France 0.
For sure, man for man, they have risen to the occasion. Jason McAteer and Frank Stapleton, when we come back, we asked about Andy Reid. Was he ready for a job like this tonight? The answer, yes, and how close he came to giving us the lead. Live football this coming weekend from Sky Sports. Norwich against Plymouth get us underway Saturday at noon on Sky Sports 1. Look out also for Crewe against Derby on Sunday at 1 on 1. From the Premiership, Bolton against Blackburn on Super Sunday, 3:30 in the afternoon on 1. And there's also Middlesbrough against Arsenal, channel 437. For details on that one, it's a 5 o'clock start on Prem Plus. And at Lansdowne, if you can take it, there are still 45 minutes to come. But are you pleased so far, Frank?
Yeah, I think it's been great. The commitment, determination, real passion from the players, and supporters have played a part as well. But it's been real commitment. The players knew what they had to do. We've had to take the chance of a couple of yellow cards. But overall, you've got to be happy because they've only had the one chance, and that's the free kick.
We're just crying out, Jason McAteer, for that cutting edge. Did you think Andy Reid had given it to us with the free kick?
I did. I thought it was a bit close for him to get over the wall, but he went round it, and you know, he was the width of the post away. Fantastic effort from Andy. I think it's important set pieces for us because we don't seem to have a lot of possession. France seem to have had most of the possession in the first half, and I think set pieces are going to be crucial. And if we can get a few more free kicks around the edge of the box, I think Andy, with that effort, can certainly go close again. Have
the likes of Duff, Frank, and particularly Robbie Keane, have they made it uncomfortable enough for the French back four?
No, I don't think we've got enough possession into both of them, particularly Robbie. I think he's been a bit detached from everybody.
He's been foraging, hasn't he? He's been trying to make things happen. For example, you know, the penalty claim.
Yeah, I think that this is a poor effort. I mean, they're too comfortable on the ball here, and he gets caught in possession, well cut out, and then I think he goes down He knows got his first touch takes him
He's
away.
trying to force himself into the
Yeah, well,
action
this
here,
first
isn't
touch is too big. He knows the goalkeeper's going to get the ball, so he threw himself to the floor. And I have to say, the referee's got it 100% right there. I would have liked that a penalty.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have complained if we'd have got it, but I have to say it wasn't one.
Jason, you told us Claude Makelele was vital for the French because the back two are shaky. And Clinton Morrison was causing them all sorts of trouble with his hard running, wasn't he?
He is, yeah. I mean, Robbie as well, the pair of them are working so hard up there. If we can get the ball into their back four like you see here, we're causing problems. That's the best chance of the match, that. And, you know, Boomsong and Saran, they just don't look comfortable at the back. You know, they're trying to play out the back, the ball's getting cut out, as you've seen before. That one there, Robbie's like one ahead of him. You know, they're looking shaky back
Have we
there.
been the better side for you in the first half?
Although we haven't had possession, a lot of possession, I think France have. We've got a great shape and we're working really hard, and I think we'll be rewarded in the second half.
The only thing is, Frank, it might have been a case of chasing the game had Zidane's free kick not been kept out brilliantly by Given early on.
I don't think any of us were surprised when he got the ball on the target and over the wall. This is world-class save from Shea. Absolutely. What surprised me, I thought he punched it because he got such a strong hand on it. You see how he gets it up and away. It gives the defenders time to get back and close the ball down and stop another shot coming in.
Before we go tonight, we'll have the highlights from Group 6, including Poland against Wales. Lansdowne Road next, though. We wait for the second half. It is intense. It is edge-of-the-seat stuff all the way. And it is no friendly. Friday Fight Night returns for a new run this week, and it's World Championship action with Clinton Woods defending his IBF World Light Heavyweight crown against Julio Gonzalez. That's Friday night at 10 on Sky Sports 1. No goals so far in Dublin, but these goals in the game earlier today in the Faroe Islands, and Israel have won again. Nimni put them in front after half-time, and victory assured with a second from Katan. That's all they could have done, Frank, isn't it?
I mean, that's what you could do. Ireland went out there and did the same thing. Very tired performance at the end of the season, but they're a hard team to beat. Just get the goals, and that's the result.
So they're still right in the hunt in our group. So too Switzerland. Latest score, Cyprus 1, Switzerland 3. One other result to hand in Group 5. Scotland are still in the World Cup. Norway 1, Scotland 2. Latest from Group 6, Northern Ireland 0, England 0, and Poland 1, Wales 0. And just repeating highlights of that one here later on the show. Jason McAteer, can we push on in our game from here?
We can, like I said before. I think we've got a fantastic shape when we lose the ball. Clinton's dropping in, we're condensing the pitch, and as we predicted, Zidane's getting on the ball, but we're saying to him, go on, try and thread a pass through, and we're coping with it, and I'm just hoping that we don't make a mistake, don't switch off, and we don't concede.
Would any of the Irish players be wanting to know the scores in the other games tonight?
No, not at all. They'll be concentrating on them in the second half, won't they?
You have to say that's what they're doing. You can see that in their performance.
Frank, second half, can we keep it up?
Yeah, I think the pace of the game has got to be kept up. Otherwise, you allow them to come into it and create more. What I would like to see is us getting a bit more quality ball to Robbie Keane to feet, particularly Duff. Because every time he gets it, three of those players are drawn to him. If we can get a good ball, all it takes is one situation, one one-on-one, will create the chance. And that's all we need. I think one chance in this game. I'm saying it before, Jason, I don't feel that this is a 2-all sort of match. This is a one-goal match.
Thank you both. Here we go then. Let's rejoin Niall Quinn and first Rob Hawthorne.
And as we've seen, Israel have done what was expected of them. Switzerland are doing what is expected of them. So you'd expect Israel to beat the Faroe Islands and really set the benchmark in this group at 18 points, which is why a win here tonight for one of these Titanic sides would really throw down the gauntlet to the rest.
Absolutely, it's so vital. This 45 minutes, really, the group possibly rests on it. If a team make the breakthrough here, then they will most likely be the ones that go to Germany.
If there is to be one goal that decides it, for whom will that goal come? The next 45 minutes will provide the answer. And Vieira immediately converged on by Kilban and Morrison. An immediate signal of intent from Ireland to carry on where they left off.
Yeah, a nice moment. Just if we thought the Irish were going to drop off the pace, Kilban showed great sort of determination and passion to upset Vieira, and then got the free kick for his team. And in fairness, his team have been doing it all game, but it's great to see at the start of the second half that they mean business this half as well.
Reid here to try and unsettle them with a free kick. Dunn found space!
Yeah, he did find space. He lost Vieira, went to go on the outside, checked in, the ball came nice from him. Just wasn't the most convincing header. You'll see him pretend to go outside, he goes in, Vieira's left standing still. He couldn't get it on target. Did really well to get away from his man.
He's actually scored more for Ireland than he has in his entire club career, Richard Dunn. What a big goal it will be for anyone who makes the breakthrough tonight.
I think we shouldn't underestimate the value of a 0-0 draw either, Rob, to Ireland. You know, a win would be fantastic, but a draw I think would suit us better in the long run. Certainly a 0-0 one.
Here's Sagnol.
I mean, that's been typical of his performance so far, Sagnol. He's lacked the final ball. He's looked as if it's a hot potato at times that he's been running with. I'm not too worried seeing him on it.
Well, the encouraging thing for Ireland about the closing fixtures is that while France have still to go to Switzerland, Ireland's own game against the Swiss is here in the last qualifier in the group. Carr. Robbie Keane. Oh! Given away to Zidane, the last player you want to do that to. And to retrieve the situation.
Yeah,
Giving away a free kick.
He's done well to give the free kick away and just stop the break, because it was an awful moment. Zidane looked up. There was options.
Here's Dorasu. Now Turan. Gallas for the moment in the centre. Here's Cunningham. Kilban. Boomsong, who's moved back into the middle. It's well won by Cunningham. Duff back to Kilban.
Yeah, mishit the pass, Kilban. But Cunningham came out and won a really important challenge again. I think Kenny's done very well. They've all set the tone early on, but Kenny has kept it up. They don't look like vital challenges, but when Ireland keep winning them, it keeps knocking France back.
One of the unsung players of this Irish team, isn't he, the skipper?
I tell you, Ireland are such a better team with this man in it. I've said it all along. He's the one who organises everything at the back. And I was glad, as I said earlier on, that Richard, with a bit of pace, was put alongside him.
Done for Reid. Now Boomsong. Vieira looking to play through the middle to Henry. Roy Keane in there, though, to pick up the pieces.
In fairness, the ball was thumped at him. I know he's one of the world's great players, but that was as hard as a shot. And he nearly controlled it still.
Don't think he appreciated it too much, did he?
No, he gave a look of disdain to Zinedine Zidane.
There is the nagging feeling with Henry that he doesn't produce at international level the sort of form that we constantly see at club level. Here's Zidane. Now Wiltord.
Just got themselves mixed up, thank God, but looked dangerous for a moment or two. Zidane might have pulled the trigger.
Cunningham just trying to pull back Thierry Henry. Reid. And away goes Damien Duff. It's deflected on its way through.
Yeah, it's the first real time that he's been able to leave Senyol for dead. Fortunately, the shot took a deflection, but that's really got the crowd going.
Well, the final score in that other Group 4 match, a victory for the Swiss, an expected victory over Cyprus by 3-1 in Nicosia. And so Switzerland cementing their place at the top of the table.
Yeah, to be expected. Gallas came forward. He's probably playing more forward this half. You look at Damien again as he goes through. Just got the deflection. The shot seemed to be going on target. Good moment.
Well, there is a longing to see Duff involved more, and he's starting to see more of the ball now. Robbie Keane, he's picked out here. Boomsong stayed tight to him.
Yeah, we're having a bit of joy down that left side now.
We saw a lot of what Ireland could do without the ball in the first half in making it difficult for France to play through them. And now they're looking to create their own moments of magic. Thuram comes to meet the ball though from Roy Keane. Now Zidane. Wiltor.
Keane read that brilliantly. He's got the free kick quite simply because as Wiltord was going to try and take the ball forward, Keane read that he was going to try and do the dummy and come back. Just watch it here. Wiltord, well, it's a little bit late seeing it there, but for all intents and purposes, any other player I think would have said, okay, he's gone forward, and Keane did brilliant to read it.
Duff. Now Cunningham. It's Kilban. Now Carr. Reid. Didn't go the side that Carr expected, but he did well to keep that, the fullback. But he hasn't won the free kick. Gallas gets it away. Vieira. Space here for Zidane, who's got Wiltor coming through from the right, Henry pulling out wide, and Dunn holds him up, but it's Henry, and it's too far in front of Wiltor.
Yeah, Zidane was the cause of that. Everybody left him free as the ball broke, but Wiltor feels that Henry didn't play it in the right path. He had to stay onside Wiltor as the ball broke free. Zidane did great work. Had it not been as hard, and I think he could have got there, but I have a feeling he was a yard or two behind Henry, where Henry wanted him to be. They're not happy with each other, but it was a very good opening.
Keane. Stephen Carr. Back by Dunn. Boomsong's header. Carr. Taken down by Zinedine Zidane. Done. It's Kilban. Gus Precious won the corner.
Yeah, great ball through. Kilban did well. Senyol was all at sea. Just watch as he comes through here. He's left him for dead. He spun him. But luckily, his teammate comes across and gives the corner kick away.
Their fourth corner taken by Reid. Back in by Reid. And cleared by Vieira. Zidane. Henry. Vital stopping job at the end done by Roy Keane. Zidane here looking to pick out Henry, and he's out-jumped by Dunn.
Yeah, between Cunningham and Dunn, they dealt with it. Just get the feeling this game's starting to open up, Rob.
Cunningham. Done. Now Clinton Morrison. Kept it in for Reid, first time in, looking for Robbie Keane. Coupe, though, judged the bounce. Makalele. Kilban in the way. Carr. Duff. Makalele. Henry. Zidane was breaking dangerously and Roy Keane's slip could have been costly, but Kilban was there to make sure there were no severe consequences.
Yeah, again, Ireland were back in numbers. It's interesting, Henry has had a couple of little openings now and he's a little bit disappointed. There's no smiley face there, he's getting frustrated.
Well, won by Thuram. Roy Keane. O'Shea. Duff. Still only simmering at the moment for Damien Duff, but how the Irish fans are willing him to come into life.
Yeah, it's a little bit unlucky that didn't come off. But he does have the key to unlock this French defence.
Now Dorosu. Henry. Zidane. Sanyol. Sanyol the victim, and the German referee Herbert van Del gives France the free kick. Done behind it, and France win their first corner.
Yeah, don't have to be sharp alert that Boumsong was coming in behind him. Good ball in by Sanyol. I think it's the first decent delivery we've seen from all day.
Well, Zidane's a threat in the air from these sort of situations. Andy Reid initially was with him, Kilban keeping an eye on him now. Away by Cunningham, then by Duff. Now Robbie Keane. Here's Thuram. Still so delicately balanced. Done. Gallas. Dorosu. There's a push by Stephen Carr. And he's going to be shown a yellow card, Stephen Carr.
Yeah, Dorosu did really well to get around him. In fairness to Stephen, he stayed with him. It's the last second, a little tug. And the referee has given him a yellow.
Well, unlike his two colleagues booked earlier, that won't rule him out of the next qualifier. Morrison and Roy Keane will miss that.
See, he just gets that yard in front of him at this point. He's cut it for him and just a little pull back with the arm.
Well, the greater danger for Ireland is from the kick itself. Zidane looks to produce something, but Carr makes amends for having given it away. Oh, that falls short from Dorosu. Robbie Keane saw it there to be seized upon. Thuram holds them up for now, but they're breaking forward. Reid couldn't get the ball right, though, for Robbie Keane. Yeah,
it was a pity. He did ever so well. Ireland got the ball back, put the pressure on, and we're on the break. Just 2 or 3 yards too far ahead of Keane.
Ireland holding their own with an hour gone. Here's Gallas. stopped by Roy Keane. Played against Dorosu.
Yeah, Keane did well to get the tackle and then earn a side of throw in. He's all action tonight.
Reed. Dorosu. Dallas. Boomsong. Cleared by Dunn. Boomsong away. Caught by Robbie Keane. Free kick taken from well out of position. Here's Dorosu.
Once again, Henry frustrated. Dorosu this time picked a bad pass. He's not happy.
He was less than pleased when he was taken off in the weekend victory over the Faroe Islands. An occasion on which Raymond Domenech, the French coach, showed that he is prepared at times to stand up to the delicate egos of his charges. But it's been a difficult job for him, one in which he's excluded the likes of Pires and Silvestre from his thinking, the French coach, and where he does seem to be perpetually under pressure. Henry has emerged with it now. Plenty back for Ireland, but can he find a way through? Referee feeling it was a voluntary fall and no blame could be attached to Dunn.
Yeah, he's tried to beat 5-6 players there, but that's just the whole point of Ireland's performance. There were 5 or 6 players. Marvellous work defensively again.
Wiltor. Zidane. Zidane looking to get Gallas through.
Yeah, a little bit heavy with the ball through. I do still feel that Ireland would have dealt with it.
Boomsong suddenly realising the threat of Andy Reid. Did well to get back into position there.
It's a furious pace. It's been fantastic. I think every player on the pitch deserves credit. If for nothing else, the sheer pace of the game.
A yellow card for Andy Reid, which is yet another absentee for Cyprus now for the Republic of Ireland.
You can see here he's very determined to get the ball. Boomsong is holding him off, and a little bit harsh. I don't think he's shown any real intent to hurt Boomsong there. I think he made a fairly genuine effort to get it. Didn't really get it. That's fair enough, but I think there's been worse than that that's gone unpunished tonight.
You said rightly that the Cyprus game was the one to miss, but should we be worried about the numbers that are being ruled out here? That's the 3rd player already that will be unavailable for Brian Kerr and his squad when they go to Cyprus.
Maybe so, but it's a worry you think about straight after the final whistle. It's nothing to do at all with tonight. He'll know that. 100% focus on what's in hand. Okay, to be a little bit careful, the players, because to lose a man.
Morrison climbing. Dorosu. Roy Keane could be in trouble here if Henry can make something of this. Cunningham no pounced against Zidane. Reed. Boomsong. Morrison largely had the edge in that battle in the first half. It's not been so easy for him since the break.
No, I think they've recouped and reorganised themselves quite well, the French at the back, and we haven't really had many openings. Be interesting to think, Rob, to see at this point, what does Domenech do? Does he, as he said beforehand, want to win the game and go for it, throw on another striker maybe? Or will he be happy to keep it 0-0?
Zidane finding Dunn too much of a man mountain to get around, but he wasn't about to give up the course lightly, and he's got himself into trouble with his tenacity there. A yellow card that meets with approval.
Dunn was fantastic. He stood his ground. It looked a very dangerous moment as Zidane got on the ball, but he was very big and brave. Made the tackle when it had to be made, then the lunge. Again, he may have got the ball, you know.
Booking then for Zinedine Zidane, who we all thought had stopped at 93 caps for France, but tonight he's winning number 96. He's delaying Given taking this free kick. Well, are we going to get the third goalless draw in a row between these two countries? Goalless in Paris in April, and before Dominic's time in the last match in Dublin, a friendly back in February '89.
Yeah, Dominic, he's just sent 2 or 3 players to warm up, and I wonder what's going through his mind now. As the Irish effort will start to tire, will he go for it and throw a forward player on? Crucial 23 minutes or so left in this game.
Makelele. Here's Wiltor. Now Henry. Thierry Henry! Oh, it's a wonderful moment! A brilliant goal! And class that is so difficult to legislate against. Thierry Henry puts France in the driving seat.
A crushing blow to Ireland. A real sickening blow, but I think you have to give credit at times. Wiltor did well to hold it up. Didn't look as if anything much was happening. Keane couldn't make the tackle. And just a real world-class finish from a real world-class player. But now it changes it. Now Ireland are the ones that will have to go and take the game by the scruff of the neck. Go for it now. As we look at that again, it's just hard to take, but a very special moment.
Thierry Henry beating Shay Given for the second time this season. He did so on the opening weekend with a penalty, his 5th Premiership goal against the Irish goalkeeper, and now has he broken Irish hearts here at Lansdowne Road with that goal, or is there something left in the locker? Duff has won a free kick.
Yeah, maybe that's the way through. We haven't been able to create much, maybe set pieces. Crowd are certainly getting up for this. Andy Reid free kick. Dunn is going up. Cunningham is thinking about going up.
Well, the French are going to make a change here. Their captain is the man who's coming off, Zinedine Zidane. And Florent Malouda is going to come on, but in the meantime, players carried on. The referee obviously didn't see that Zidane had trotted off and that Malouda wanted to come back on, and suddenly Zidane finds himself a presence back on the field.
Yeah, strange one, really.
Here's Reid. Roy Keane, Andy Reid again. And it's Henry who comes back to make the tackle. Gallas who prevents the corner. And now they can make the appointed change.
Yeah, Zidane has looked very good at times. He got in the danger area, and in fairness, now that the goal is there and he's had a booking, younger legs, quicker legs, in what will be a frantic last 20 minutes will come on and replace him. I suppose that there's no need for him to play up in that hole where Zidane was. It will be to crowd that midfield and stop Ireland from creating.
Here's Henry again. Now Dorosu. He's overrun it. Almost took out his own coach in the process.
Yeah, it's going to be frantic now.
"20 minutes left for Ireland to rescue this. Cunningham. Richard Dunn. Cunningham. O'Shea. Well, Zidane had a bit of an injury problem coming into this game anyway from the weekend. It's a calf injury that's seen him go off tonight. Will the loss of the inspiration affect France as they look to hold on to this lead?
I wonder, but you know, I'm just looking at the formation down here before me, and they seem to push Malouda right up. He's out on this left side, and in his way of trying to stop Ireland, maybe he's going to get more players further up. But I really expected Malouda to go in and perhaps form part of a wall in that midfield that would try and stop the Irish coming through, but certainly looks to be heading up in a more forward position.
Aim towards him then. Dominic trying to orchestrate things. Vieira. O'Shea, and now Duff. Cunningham. Richard Dunn.
So look back probably in the way the second half has gone. Okay, with France scoring, that's you can take that, but perhaps what we have lacked is that type of ball into Clinton Morrison where he can hold it up, lay players in. It just hasn't happened for us for whatever reason. It happened 3 or 4 times early on in the first half. Not
O'Shea
now.
won his tussle with Wiltord. He's found Robbie Keane. Well held.
The first real inspirational moment of this half, and Robbie got himself into it. Maybe that's good. He'll finish strong now. We need to feed him and Morrison more.
Keane getting his attempt on target, but Coupe making the save. The first one that Ireland have managed on target in the contest. Djibril Cissé is getting ready to come on.
Well, it just shows you Dominic is obviously going for the opinion that, you know, to keep the ball up the other end of the field gives him a better chance of protecting this 1-0 lead. Most coaches would blanket out that midfield, force long ball, but perhaps with the way Ireland have played in the past, and with the likes of Doherty on the bench, he's setting his team up to keep the ball as far up the field as possible.
And if Ireland too will be thinking about substitutions with the work rate they've shown, Brian Kerr will have to be very careful about the changes that he makes.
Yeah, I mean, it's harsh that they're a goal down. I think they've been superb, every one of them to a man. But perhaps the time Robbie now is left to do something different and take that gamble. Doherty seems the obvious one to change it completely, but young Elliott is there.
Well, the Lansdowne Road crowd keeping the faith.
They certainly are, Rob. They're really doing their bit tonight.
Here's Sagnol. And he's taken a huge risk there with Keane and Morrison closing in. But from the sweep forward, Malouda forces the header clear from Gibbon.
Yeah, to be alert there, Shay.
Roy Keane. Robbie Keane was bundled over by Gallas, who followed that up with another challenge on Carr.
It's a shame there, Robbie was away for the quick free. But Cissé was coming on, France making another change.
Well, Thierry Henry may turn out to be the match winner, but yet again he's being substituted. And Djibril Cissé, who scored a couple against the Faroes, forced the own goal as well. and has done well in Liverpool's European exploits, taking the place of the man who scored that wonderful goal, Thierry Henry. Goal worthy of winning any match, and his replacement Cisse announcing his arrival to Keane.
Yeah, there'll be more pace up front if Henry was tiring, but I'm not so sure he was. He looked pretty good to me. And maybe he's a target for them, maybe to keep that ball up there.
Dorosu skipping away from Carr. Tried to play Wiltord in. Carr. Here's Robbie Keane. Free kick against Boomsong.
Yeah, he's kicked the ball away. I think the referee's not happy with him. Well, at one stage he was reaching for the card, then didn't give it. But 15 minutes or so now, Rob.
Brian Kerr in discussions with Ian Hart. Looks as though he may be the first Irish substitute we see introduced.
Yeah, I think you'll maybe find he'll go 3 at the back. And get in to get forward and get that wet left foot to his to create something for us, hopefully.
Wiltord. Not the only change either. Gary Doherty's ready to come on as well.
Yeah, I think that's pretty obvious at this stage. It's an alternative ploy. It's something that has to be brought into play, I feel. And hopefully Hart can provide.
Duff looked to provide them with a cross. He's won a corner out of Thuram.
I just wonder, will they make the substitution before the corner kick?
It looks as though they're leaving things as they are for now. Reed's corner, well taken.
Yes, he did very well. I was glad to see him come because there was that many bodies around him. I felt he'd definitely drop it, but he didn't. He did really well.
Header out by Carr, which gives Ireland the breathing space to make their changes if they want. But again, they're just holding fire for now.
Yeah, just probably wait till this attack finishes.
Hart and Doherty set to come on. Thuram. Malouda looking to get through here. Shadowed by Carr. The pair had arms hooked around each other. Well, the decision goes against Morrison, who's one of the players who's going to come off here. The number 9 of Clinton Morrison, held aloft. An evening that started so well, had a decent chance in the first half. Clinton Morrison ends prematurely, and Ian Hart comes on. And we saw Zinedine Zidane come off. The man they call Zinedine Kilban is also coming off.
Yeah, it didn't happen for both players in the second half, but Ireland go straight into a 4-3-3 now. You'll find Duff pushed up alongside Keane and Doherty. I feel certain Gary will win some ball if they can get the right type of ball to him. And try and break the French down, put runners off him.
Dunn launches it. Sagnol with a header away. Hart. Robbie Keane. Here's Gary Doherty. That's a big chance tonight now for Doherty, who's not been able to get into the Norwich team in the Championship so far this season. But here he could make a big name for himself on the international stage. Carr. Doherty up against Boomsong.
Need a bit of pressure. It's not pretty, and it'll have to improve for something to happen, but the intent here is obvious. You've got to try and get some kind of flick-ons from Doherty. Hasn't got the longest throw ever. Stephen Keane has gone into that area.
Can't change his mind. Thought about the short one to Roy Keane. Thinks again. And he does look for Doherty, who is using Vieira for leverage in the referee's opinion.
Yeah, it's tough because two players are going to take him, one from behind and one in front. And what he's got to do is keep his arms down in that situation. That's all the referees look for there is when you're in that little sandwich, is you just lift your arms and the free kick is given. And maybe the fact that he doesn't play centre forward every week counts against him in moments like that.
Well, Gary Doherty's Norwich in action this weekend against Plymouth. It's live on Saturday, Sky Sports 1 from noon, and more Championship action on Sunday, Sky Sports 1 from 1 o'clock, Crewe against Derby County.
Yeah, free kick in a dangerous position, but I don't think France will throw too many players forward to keep possession.
There's Vieira. Cisse. Well, the way they set off, there'll be a few heavy legs out there. Ian Hart has a fresher pair. Makaleli closed down by Duff. Keane finds the ball to Robbie Keane. Andy Reid, Roy Keane, Andy Reid. Better stuff this from Ireland. Now Hart. O'Shea's joined the attack. It's aimed for Doherty.
You know, as the move took shape there, I looked at Doherty and he was very, very central. I just wished when the move went down that left side that he pulled himself really wide. He'd have come onto that ball instead of having to try and make up ground.
Malouda. Now Dorosu. French, obviously in no rush. Dorosu. Well in Andy Reid, winning his duel with Makaleli. Now Duff. Hart. Sanyol got in front of Damien Duff. Well won back though by Kenny Cunningham. O'Shea. Hart looking to set O'Shea away here. Thuram gets across and watches it to safety.
Yeah, pity. It looked as if it was going to develop. It's really a matter now just getting a couple of good quality balls in the box. I think Ireland may have to dispense with the pretty stuff now.
Well, Brian Kerr didn't like the way that Raymond Dominic was quite critical of his team's approach in the first game, but style has nothing to do with it now. It's all about the result.
We've got 5 minutes here now to make something really happen.
Can the famed Irish spirit see them onto an equaliser that will keep this group on an even keel? Boomsong. And Doherty wins it back from Sanyol. But Doherty's pursuit of Sanyol draws the attention of the referee again, and a free kick is given.
Yeah, as I was pointing out earlier, not playing every week. He started tugging back. Centre halves sometimes get away with it, centre forwards don't. You just see him holding the arm. Defenders sometimes allowed to do that. But he'd still say to him to get himself wider. The ball hard played to him at the start of the move. It was a dead straight ball down the middle. Very easy for the defenders to deal with. If he's coming in from an angle, it's an awful lot harder.
Here's O'Shea. Broke up Sylvain Wiltor. The two withdrawn. Some talent there. Here's Robbie Keane.
John O'Shea had made a great run, you know, for Keane just to lay it off, but he didn't see it. Would have had a striking goal from the edge of the box.
Roy Keane, O'Shea, Andy Reid. O'Shea, and deflected away by Vieira, and Ireland still have hope.
Yeah, big corner kick now. Cunningham will go up this time.
Reid, the regular corner takers, made way for this one to Hart.
One good delivery, Hardy.
That's what it'll take. And Coupe again plucks it out of the air. Assured handling.
French in no hurry now. Clock ticking down. Players have got to believe that there's one last moment in them. They've given their all, just a little bit more.
Keane trying to will his team on. Sylvain Wiltor. Hart. Andy Reid. Well, you think this could be a pivotal match in the international career of Roy Keane as he looks to get to a World Cup finals. Have Ireland got it within them to survive in this group? A defeat here will take their fate out of their own hands. So how they need an equaliser in the closing 2 minutes plus whatever is added on. Makelele. Hart in the way. Roy Keane looking to get things going with Duff. And it's Hart now. Reid comes in to take over. Andy Reid away from Malouda. Can't get the delivery right though. Malouda blocks it. Now it's Duff's turn to try. Vieira's behind this one and gets it away at the second attempt. It's Stephen Carr. Roy Keane. O'Shea tried to play in Carr first time, and Gallas was the right side. Is it going to be a night that ends in frustration for Ireland? Dorosu. Vieira. Wiltor looking to just take it towards the corner. The onus on Carr to take it away from him.
He's got the throw now. It's got to get down that field as quickly as possible.
Raymond Dominic wants to stall Ireland still further by making a change and bringing on Gaël Givet of Monaco and replacing Willy Sagnol.
Number 21, Gaël Givet, replacing number 19, Willy Sagnol.
Givet, who played the whole of the draw with Ireland back in France.
That hasn't worked out. In fairness, the French press, they didn't just run back. They'll take an age to take this one.
And there are only 2 added minutes.
Man of the match is Roy Keane.
Header by Carr, the flag up to earn themselves chances, so Given here is looking to get them on the front foot straight away. Dunn wins the header. O'Shea. Andy Reid. And it's blocked.
We've got the throw in, he's had the dive, but we've got another chance. Got to get it in that box, boys.
There have been anxious checks on watches all around. Less than a minute of stoppage time to go. Can Ireland find the formula to get through and get themselves an equaliser to keep themselves in with a chance in this group? O'Shea's won it back. Now Damien Duff. Won back by Vieira. Touch from Roy Keane, but Cisse was offside.
Last chance now. The performance has been so brave, so heroic. I think it'd be justice if we can get one.
Seconds remaining. Can Gibbon propel Ireland forward here? Back in by Hart, whose boot was too high for the referee's liking, and that could be it.
It could be. There is hope that perhaps we play an extra few seconds because of the substitution. But they've worked ever so hard. I feel really sorry for Ireland. I feel for Brian Kerr. I think his side was so brave, worked so hard. But one moment of brilliance has been the undoing. And it tells.
France land on Ireland, possibly a knockout blow.